you know.
So in the some of the stuff I posted into the group, in the gaming and mental health article written by healthygamer.gg, they were saying um, how video how video games how people use video games as a means to either cope with their mental health or as an avenue to project what they want in the world through video games. Did I word that right? I'm a better writer than I'm a speaker. I'm going to say that out right now. Yeah, so basically,
I think I know what you're trying to say.
So basically, if there's
an escape, right?
Yeah, it's just not only as an escape, but as an avenue to do stuff. It basically, fuck, I forgot his name, but I'll put it on the screen. The doctor who was saying this on healthygamer.gg was saying that if you have these underlying mental conditions, then if you don't work on it in real life, then video games just become a catalyst for what you want to do, or a catalyst for your negativity. And I think that's kind of what happened too with that Destiny community, how they use video games as a means to attack somebody, or to attack their gaming persona.
I mean, it's kind of tough to say. Video games as a whole are probably the most immersive type of multimedia experience we have available. And, you know, outside of book reading where you're actually kind of creating the images in your head, video games are probably the most immersive experience. And it's interesting because this technology is just so new, and, I love films, I love filmmaking, and that stuff has been in the cultural consciousness for more than a century. And so you can kind of see the cycles and waves of people saying that movies are great and they're going to change everything, and people saying the movies are corrupting all of us and are these terrible influences. And we've seen that cycle kind of ebb and flow many times throughout cinematic history. And so I think we're going to continue to see that flow happen a lot in video game culture too. And just as the games also continue to get exponentially more immersive, especially with VR and Oculus and that kind of stuff rolling out more and more in the future, there's just going to continue to be those kinds of conversations. And the people that are using this technology to kind of maybe without fully understanding it to reach these ends, whether that is kind of a psychological, biochemical reaction, an ego-driven one, or they're going to be the people that just know how to use this technology and the tool for what it is, just a little fun escape, a little bit of power fantasy, just to kind of blow off some steam and have some fun and like just play out this thought exercise of what if I was living in a cyberpunk future? What would it look like? I think Grand Theft Auto is an example of a great satire that is both satirical of American culture and video game culture. And that's also kind of blown up to be this whole thing into itself.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're a shitty person, you're going to do shitty things anyways, that doesn't excuse it, but, and as a fair warning, in the BBC article, Video Games and Mental Health, it said that only 0.3% of gamers experience or go through this type of, I guess we could just call it a mental disorder, gaming rage, whatever it is. They say it falls underneath the umbrella of like mental health and gaming addiction, but they say only.
Is it in the DSM? Huh? Hold on. No, keep going. My bad. Let me interrupt you.
Yeah, I mean, you just said that the Andy Price-Blisky, a researcher at the Oxford University Internet Institute, said that only like 0.3% of gamers are like this. And it sucks because, usually the loudest or ones who make the most noise kind of becomes the face of gaming.
Like the people?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's true. I mean, like I know of like some streamers and some content creators who like do it for the shock value, and I guess they are really good at gaming too. So like, is that kind of what you're talking about? Like people kind of like clout farming?
Yeah, maybe with clout farming. But I was talking in the aspect of like why are they so negative?
Like why are they toxic to other players?
Yeah.
I think it's an ego thing, dude. Especially like in the Fortnite community. If you hear some of these like, because most of the pros are like 16, 15 years old, And if you hear them talk after tournaments, dude, they're just talking so much shit about their opponents, dude. It's just so toxic, and it's just like such like a I'm better than you thing. And I think because like being a gamer has been a little more popularized now, I feel like there's a lot more competition, and like you always want to like have an edge on your competition. So I don't know. I feel like it's a competitive thing / ego thing, but I think it all ties back to like toxic behavior. I think what you're talking about though, like the disorder of like gaming rage, is more of like the kid who throws his controller at his TV. You know, if he like loses a round or something, like something that's just so out of the ordinary.
Just this close.
Yeah, something that's so out of the ordinary, some like a reaction that just doesn't match like what happens. You know, like just a completely irrational reaction. You know, that I think that's kind of more what the gaming rage is.
Because I've definitely seen a lot of compilations online of Halo Rage where somebody just throws a freaking controller through their TV, and I'm just like, what? I've never gotten to that point. But
I've broken a monitor one time when I was like 16 or whatever, and I was playing Counter-Strike, because that's like the game that I kind of like my first like game that I really put a lot of time in was Counter-Strike. And I would like lag all the time because like I had a shitty Dell. And one time we were playing some like, I don't know, some match or whatever, and I froze and I just fucking popped the screen, and I didn't think I hit it that hard, but it cracked. And then like it was shitty.
Damn.
The only time. I will admit that.
Have you broken anything, Justice?
Not purposefully. I feel it though. Like definitely times I can see it happening, and if I had a TV to spare, maybe it would have happened by now. But like, I just see the whole process of going to get another TV and how painful all that is. And so I hang on to my controller, but I can see it happening there. I'm not going to rule it out for the future. I don't know. Something might push me over the edge one day, but so far, not yet.
So you use objective reasoning to curve your tilt.
Kinda, yeah. I just don't get me wrong. I think I was kind of had that kind of tantrum behavior a lot growing up. So I was very used to like kind of breaking my own toys, and then someone being like, "You just kind of played yourself, dude. Like no one else is really affected other than you. So don't do that." And so I think just enough of that finally sank in, where it's like, oh yeah, don't smash this thing because I will have to buy new things of the things I smashed.
Good. That's good, man. You don't need to, especially I think when you're younger, it was easier to break your own toys because you didn't buy your own toys. But now when you are broke, post college, paying off loans, you're like, $100 is $100. So
yeah,
breaking that shit was maybe bad.
I mean, looking back on it, it's obviously a stupid decision, but fuck, dude, I just didn't want to lag.
It's a reflexive thing. I feel it too, and it's just like it happens worse with like computer monitors, where you're just like, I didn't even mean to hit you that hard.
Yeah, you're so fragile, especially back in the day, dude.
It's almost like your kid brother. It's like you stop crying. It's not that bad. Mm-hmm. Don't tell mom, computer monitor. Quit being a baby. You're fine.
What was fragile? The monitor or your ego, or your masculinity? Everything.
Oh, it was my internet that was fragile at that moment. For sure, it was my internet. That was it.
Yeah, I know we just talked a bunch of shit about like video games. Well, we didn't talk shit, but we just discussed the negative parts of it. But there also are positive things about video games, which we all enjoy.
There's a lot of positives, dude, especially like because of like what's going on with the virus and stuff like that. And we got to be inside more, and like things aren't open. Like I've definitely been gaming more, and I've been gaming with like my close friends. And dude, I don't really like crave a lot of like social interactions because I'm kind of getting it like on Discord, like playing games, like discovering new games. Like we're all playing Cyberpunk right now, and we're all usually in the Discord channel, like talking, not ruining it for each other, but like, just talking about like, oh shit, did you see this? Did you see that kind of thing? And it's been pretty fun, but it's like that with other games too, I'm sure you guys have similar experiences with your friends, like in Destiny or whatever else you guys are playing.
Yeah, I feel like with Destiny particularly over the last couple months, just kind of reconnected with some friends, or at least found a new medium for us to kind of play together. I mean,
yeah,
I'm kind of the only one still playing Overwatch, but like we all kind of get together for like Sea of Thieves or maybe Destiny here and there. But those are
what are you playing Overwatch?
Yeah, I mostly just kind of do quick play. Lucio's my boy.
Yeah.
I'm a Lucio main.
Oh, you Lucio? Okay.
Can't get enough.
I played Ashe a lot.
She's like the perfect character for me, but like I also just
loved Ashe.
I'm not big on DPS, and I think that's probably why I have a decent experience in Overwatch a lot of the time. Is I'm not trying to be like an aggro 14-year-old Fortnite streamer. I'm just like happy to throw out some heals and speed boost some fools.
Spitting fire over here, bro.
Dude, I mean, I always think that I have like the 15-year-old reaction time, but I don't. My reaction time is 30 years old.
Yeah,
it takes my brain a little longer to fucking react to shit.
Starting to realize that more and more these days.
Dude, especially if you go against some like good team and those kids are like 14 years old, just destroying you.
Is reaction time such a big thing in Overwatch? Because I played Overwatch and it seemed kind of slow to me.
No, it's in tactical shooters though. It's a bigger thing, like Counter-Strike and Valorant. For sure, your action time is bigger, but I don't know. I didn't play that much. If you're playing DPS in Overwatch, I think that your action time is more because you got to aim more.
They kind of mix it up enough in Overwatch. There's also like enough kind of characters that are close range, as far range, and kind of just a mishmash of characters that aren't purely Twitch reflex and are kind of more slow and methodical and are kind of more support based or more, kind of controlling of the action instead of the damage. So there, it's not. You can definitely get away with not having like super quick, sniper Twitch shooting. But yeah, I feel like more with like Destiny or something like that. If I'm doing Crucible or something like that, people wipe me away, and I'm like, I feel like I should have got them. Doesn't feel right.
Oh, just wait until you play against the new gen console players, dude. It's a totally different game.
Oh,
like I was playing against PS5, dude. I was playing against PS5 players in Crucible. And I was like, man, why is this Titan moving so fast? Because he's definitely not lag switching. He's not glitching. It's not a connection thing. But then I realized he's just moving smoother just because he's playing on the PS5, man. And his controller
players' movements are so much smoother sometimes in certain games, like in Fortnite. Specifically, like there's double movement binds, like on keyboard, but on controller, you can basically run forward and look to the side at the same time. And like having that kind of awareness in the game gives you a big advantage. I'm not sure how it is in Destiny, but it might be something similar where like they can turn the camera and also run in a certain direction. So the movement for them is like a little smoother.
No, what I think it is that in the next gen consoles, you're able to adjust your field of range. No, field of view, your FOV.
So you see.
So you can see
more?
So yeah, you can see wider. On like PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, the field of vision is like more narrow. So now on the next gen consoles, you're allowed to see not only a wider field of view, but you also get 60 frames per second. And some TVs can allow you to get up to 140 or 120 frames per second on Destiny. So when
but your graphics card has to be able to put out that many frames.
But the PS5 can.
Oh, it can put out 120?
I think it's 120. Yeah. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X they're saying that it could be stronger than some lower grade gaming PCs. But if you have a 3080, I mean, of course not. But like if you're just running like a 1060 60 frames per second on a shitty processor, then obviously. But it was I think you're at a huge disadvantage too when you're playing against somebody who has a bigger field, who has a more wide field of view and more frames per second, man. Like they're just smoother. Like Michael Jackson.
Well, if you're played on a 240 hertz monitor with like a really nice graphics card, it's like a totally different experience.
My laptop's like that. I can play Destiny at 144 frames per second, dude. Oh,
completely different.
It's so smooth, man. But circle back to what we're talking about before that tangent. The community keeps bringing you back to these games, Destiny and Overwatch.
The community brings you guys back to those games?
Yeah, I think that's what Justice is saying, right?
I mean, it's mostly I mean, I'm someone that loves world building and lore and everything, so kind of not understanding what's going on a lot in Destiny is kind of nice, especially as they continue to advance the narrative overall and continue to add more and more content and kind of play with some of the other stuff they've already established. So it's interesting. Overwatch, I just kind of keep going back to just because I know some of the characters well enough that it's a quick little competitive sprint. But I'm actually pretty underwhelmed with the amount of lore they've been putting out in the last couple of years. So I would say, yeah, maybe there's more of a community involvement with Destiny and that there's kind of like actual excitement and discussion about what's happening and the content being released and what that means for the metagame and the meta narrative and for the story they're trying to tell overall, which is much more important to an MMO. But yeah, Overwatch, it just seems like at least the community, when I get into it, is more often just like, yeah, here's updates for the characters that are nerfs and buffs, and here's strats that they're using in the pros and this and that. And then I just kind of start to very much lose interest because I'm not at my peak Overwatch skill anymore. So I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I was great with these characters, and it just seems like they keep nerfing them and adding new ones, and like, what's the point? Which is kind of a similar discussion with the Destiny loot stuff, but you know, at least they kind of keep changing it up.
Back in my day, this character didn't have this ability.
Yeah.
Back in my day, the meta was this.
Yeah.
But
the meta's always changing.
But yeah, so that's a story for me with Destiny. You know, like even though the Destiny does have a lot of toxicity to it, especially if you look at the Facebook Destiny group page. Oh man, dude, that place is vile. Yeah, but there are positive things from it, and that's the reason why I keep coming back to it. You know, all my friends playing it, and because my friends play it, it makes me want to go back to it because, you know, right now America is back into, I don't know, quote unquote quarantine. We have a curfew at 10 p.m. over here in LA, and Destiny gives me that social need, or that it fulfills that social aspect of my life where I'm not getting it right now. And, you know, as humans, I feel like we all need some sort of, like, you know, human touch. And if I can't get human touch in a platonic sense, not in just a weird sexual
interactions.
Stuff, you know, yeah, social interactions. That's what I meant to say. Not touching each other, but like in a social interaction, you know, we need it.
I don't think anyone was thinking touching each other until you said it.
Yeah.
Just emotional touching, not physical touching.
Yeah.
I want to feel you through the screen.
I want to feel you like Patrick Swayze drew ghosts. But yeah, you know, Destiny fulfills that, and I think if it wasn't for that, if I didn't have friends, I probably wouldn't play Destiny as much. But yeah, so that sense of community during a time of quarantine is one of the positive things I think about video games, and I enjoy it a lot.
It's really true, though. I mean, I feel like every game has their own community, you know, and especially like you kind of make your own mini community with your friends, and you guys all start to like. At least for me, my experience is like with my 3 friends, that it's basically just it's me, my buddy Joe, Cameron, and my buddy Brian, and like we're just always trying new games. We're like focusing on one game. We kind of like built like our own little mini community. And dude, Discord makes things so much easier too to stay in communication with everyone. Like just a place to hang out, and place to talk and stuff. So I definitely feel that about like the looking for like social interactions, like community and stuff like that, where like when we're in a time where that's basically taken away from us, we kind of have to find it in different ways. And yeah, I guess I'm pretty lucky to find it in this way. It's like a chill, healthy way, as long as you don't overdo it, you know. It's pretty good.
There could be worse ways of spending our time, like alcoholism, but
yes, that could be way worse for sure.
Yeah, well, you know,
it's only a problem if you can't remember the video games that you play. And so
yeah.
there you go. I'm gonna get some water real quick. I'll be right back.